Let's solve for this beautiful problem here. We have x to the sixth power minus 3x to the third power minus 4 equals to 0. All right? So what are we emulating? What are we actually trying to look into? Is to be able to have ax squared plus bx plus c. That will be able to guide us. So this one is the quadratic equation. So this can guide us, but that's not what we have. So we got to make some assumptions here. Okay? To make assumptions, we can just say y equals to this one, the middle term. So x to the third power. We can do that. So then that means what? Then that means y to the second is equal to x to the sixth power. Why? Because when y equals to x to the third and then you square the y, so that means you're squaring the x to the third power. So when you square this one, what's happening? X is 6. Because 3 times 2 is 6. So you can afford to do that. And once you establish that, ladies and gentlemen, you're good to go. So that means what? You can replace x to the power 6 by y to the second power minus 3x to the third power, which is what? Y minus 4 equals to 0. Okay? So you end up with a trinomial quadratic equation here. So now we can use anything, any method to solve for it. We can use the quadratic formula. We can use the AC method to factor it. We can use anything. Okay? So in this case here, so let's say we want to use the AC method. So the AC method said A is 1, B is -3, C is -4. So what we're going to do is to take the A and the C, multiply them together. The A in this case is 1. So it's 1 times C, which is -4. 1 times -4 we know is -4. So we're looking for two numbers. When you multiply them, you get -4, but when you add them up, you get -3. You multiply, you get -4. You add, you get -3. All right? So if it's so, we know that 4 times 1 definitely will give us 4. 2 by 2 as well. But is there any way where we can add, subtract 2 and 2 to get -3? No. What about 4 and 1? Yes. But when we take 1, which is -1, when we multiply, we're going to get -4. But when we add up, we're going to end up with +3. But here we have -3. So that means what? This one is more probable. So that's the correct one. So -4 times 1 is -4. -4 plus 1 is -3. All right? So this one is the one. So once we have that, we are well established. We have y equals to y minus 4 times y plus 1 equals to 0. Now we can solve for y. In both cases, y minus 4 equals to 0. Y plus 1 equals to 0. So once we do that, y equals to what? Equals to 4. And then we have y equals to -1. Now, what are we solving for? Y? No, we're solving for x. Keep that in mind. But what did we establish? We established that y equals to x to the third power. So because we have y equals to 4, so that means what's going to happen? This is going to be x to the third equals to 4. All right? Once we have x to the third, which is equal to 4, so that means what? X is going to be equal to what? So x is going to be equal to, so that means what's the number that will multiply itself 3 times to give me 4? It's going to be cube root of 4 because you have to actually cube root both sides. Cube root this one, cube root this one, and then you're going to end up with cube root of 4. That would be x in this case. Because cube root of 4 times cube root of 4 times cube root of 4 will give you 4. All right, so once we get to this one here, y equals to -1. So what's happening is what? So in this case also we have x cubed equals to -1. All right, so what's the number that multiply itself 3 times to give you -1? And that number is going to be -1. Okay, because if you take cube rooted of this one here, it's still going to give you both sides. This is out, so you end up with x equals to negative 1. All right? Because again, negative 1 times negative 1 times negative 1 will give you negative 1. All right? So this is it. That's the final answer here, ladies and gentlemen. Go back, check them again, and make sure that you get it right. Okay? Thank you.